Welcome to Four Men and a Little Podcast. Currently, there are three of us here. Nick, Shawn, Marcus. You could follow us on social media at Four Men Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And hit us up. Tell us what's on your mind. We're also on Facebook. And you could get this podcast, share it with your friends and anyone else, wherever fine podcasts are found.
Is that the grapefruit beer?
What?
You goddamn better believe it.
Yeah, I woke up this morning. I found a funny post. I put it on Instagram, and automatically goes to Facebook. And apparently, it was an offensive post, so they took it down.
Oh, can you tell us what it was?
Oh yeah. Apparently, Puma.
I
didn't think it was offensive at all. Apparently, Puma has sneakers that resemble Adolf Hitler. I don't know if anyone's seen that post. I don't know if you guys have ever. Yeah, it's just a little picture. They have Hitler on one side, and
so they compare the sneakers, the shape of the sneaker, to Hitler's face.
Well, the way it was designed, and then they had that, and then underneath was a quote that was like, "Well, if you wanna, those are the shoes you wear if you want to finish a race."
Oh wow! And then someone reported it.
I don't think it was reported. I think they just were like, hey, Hitler's on this. We're not gonna. Your account's
I mean, someone must have.
Well, my account's blocked for 24 hours. But it's weird because I can message Facebook. Well, by the way, we started the podcast a little bit without you, so I'm talking about how I wound up in Facebook jail this morning.
You did?
For hours, yeah.
It's about time.
I've never been in Facebook jail. So let me ask you.
It's only a pain in the ass because I like to copy the URL for the Zoom meeting and just put it in our messenger, and I fucking couldn't. I'm like, come on. I had to mail it to myself because I could use Messenger on my cell phone, but not on my computer.
I mean, I'm cool to text or email in the future if you're having a problem with Facebook. It's my least favorite way to directly communicate. So, but anyway, so do they notify you, or you just go to use it and it's like just doesn't work?
Yeah, I just went to use it. They were like, no, not for another day. You're out for a day.
So I'm assuming someone reported you.
I don't even think so.
I mean, how else do they? There's so much on there. I feel like someone either that or you share. It wasn't your original post. You shared it from someone. Like you just click share and it was linked to someone else's account? No.
I put it out through Instagram, so it was like, just
so yeah, you took a photo and it looked like it was your photo then. So yeah, someone reported you then.
I don't know. It happened real fast, so I don't know. Oh well.
I mean, I don't know. We could guess all day. We don't know. So I hear it's snowing out there, Chaz and Marcus.
Yes, it is. Big fat flakes.
May 8th has to be a record for snow.
It is.
Fucking May?
Well,
it definitely is.
I don't think for snowfall it's a record, but there's no accumulation, at least not here. So in West Seneca. So I mean, it has. I believe it has snowed in May in the past, but they were saying that if we get
it hasn't.
Are you willing to bet on that, Marcus?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
With me being a mailman, it's one of my responsibilities.
Neither rain nor sleet. It's the third one.
Or even snow.
Exactly.
So someone look it up. Has it snowed in May in Buffalo?
Hold on. Nick's looking it up. Let's get this bet down.
Especially with this particular weekend. I mean, it's definitely.
Let me tell you.
Are we gonna bet the money he owes you for getting his car fixed? So you fucking brought that up last podcast there, Chad.
All right, let me tell you this. The latest date it has ever snowed in the Buffalo area is May 20th, but that was 1907. May 20th.
Fuck you, Marcus.
So it has snowed later than this, but that was in 1907.
Yeah, that's the latest it's ever snowed, though. The latest. So that means that there could be times that it snowed somewhere between that time and prior.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it is.
let me
Chaz,
tell you this.
Chaz, you've been watching like criminal the detective shows. you.
Let me tell you this. You guys ready?
Just because it's 1907 doesn't mean a couple of years ago it didn't snow on May 15th. We just said the latest.
Yeah. I got more info. Ready? So it's really uncommon, but it has happened. Since 1885, which is 135 years ago, snow has fallen in the Buffalo area 24 times in the month of May.
Ooh.
And the most recent was Mother's Day 1989 when they got 7.9 inches of snow. That's crazy, man. I don't remember that.
That's nuts.
You're pretty young, but
okay. So Marcus, I'll say this. I'll take it back, only because that this is a rare thing. This is a very rare thing.
Of course it is. It's May. That's the one I was trying to make.
Point taken.
The snow in May falls mostly in the plain. No? Rain is better, huh? No. Rain in May. I fucked it up. Forget it.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on, man. Thought we discussed this. Thought it was a book quote. We don't read. We discuss this. We don't read.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We fly by the seat of our pants.
Shawn, did you have a field trip to see My Fair Lady in high school? I did.
No. I had one to go see Titanic.
I had one to go see.
I didn't get to go on that.
I had one to go see Beauty and the Beast in Toronto.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was actually probably one of the great theater performances I've ever seen.
I believe it.
It was really fun.
I've never seen Beauty and the Beast on stage.
This is thrilling fucking conversation, guys.
Let's talk about the Friends of Danny DeVito.
The Friends of Danny DeVito.
In the Supreme Court, the Friends of Danny DeVito are suing the state of Pennsylvania. And the question is,
who are they?
Exactly what? You see this, you're like, wait, what? And that's what I said too. I was like, wait, what? Who are the Friends of Danny DeVito? And it turns out, like, you guys ever seen? It turns out it's a different Danny DeVito. It's a guy running for Congress. And as soon as I saw that, you guys ever see the Eddie Murphy movie, The Distinguished Gentleman? He's a con man in Florida, and he sees that some congressman died, so that has the same name, and he's like, this is our chance. We're just going to run for Congress using the same name. And all these people go to the polls like, we always vote for this guy, because, like, sometimes congressmen are in Congress for, like, 30 years. So he just becomes a congressman, and then all these different lobbyists are like, we want you, we'll give you money. And he's getting, like, all these deals. People are, like, lining his pockets, and then he falls in love with this woman, and she works for, like, I don't know, some group that does good things, so he changes his ways. But anyway, like, that movie has taught me more about politics than, like, anything else in my life. It's like, basically, people will just vote for the same guy over and over. They don't know what they do, and even though they're not supposed to be getting kickbacks, they're getting kickbacks. So anyway,
people don't like change.
This guy, what? Sorry?
I said people don't like change. They like to keep things the way they are sometimes.
Right. But so anyway, there's a guy in Pennsylvania named Danny DeVito running for Congress, and of course, Danny DeVito is famous for being on It's Always in Sunny Philadelphia. So he's trying to use Danny DeVito's name to run for Congress. So the Friends of Danny DeVito is basically the organization to elect Daniel DeVito. And they're using that to make it sound like, but anyway, they're suing the government because they don't like that they're not an essential business, and they're not allowed to go out and campaign right now. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. The Friends of Danny DeVito suing. But
Friends of Danny DeVito.
Yeah, man.
The fuck are
what? What? All that time?
Yeah.
I'm not getting that back. Thanks a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
So
great.
It's not the Danny DeVito. It's just some other guy.
He wasn't paying attention. Let's tell it again.
Please
I don't
don't.
think we have enough time for that.
What
Oh man.
what else is on the list? What else do we got?
Well, our friend Mike Schreiber runs something called Buffalo Photo Blog. He raised over $9,000 for Western New York Feeds the Front Line, which is pretty cool. So, like, shout out to him for helping people while everyone else,
Oh yeah,
try to do
$9,000.
something.
That's impressive.
Doing good with his photography. So anyway, I saw this thing online. I thought it'd be fun to try. A lot of women don't like the word moist. A lot of people are like, ooh, moist, ooh. Like, they don't like that word. And someone said...
This is people in general, yeah.
Yeah, I think
so-
that's a term that most people don't like to hear.
I mean, it doesn't
I don't
bother
give
me,
a fuck.
but I don't, like, get a kick out of it. I'm just like, yeah. Like,
I feel
you know
it's
who
a perfect word to describe, like, the perfect cupcake. How was it? No, it was moist. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was moist.
You know who I feel bad for? They were pretty talented, the band Moist, that Canadian band. Like,
Tangerine.
I feel like they picked a name and it did not go well.
What
They had a
song?
couple albums that were like,
what
we
song
gotta...
do they have?
Yeah, it was Tangerine, right?
No,
Resurrection was one of them.
no, that's Flaming Lips, Shawn.
Was it? What about
Yeah.
Tangerine?
I mean, also Led Zeppelin has a song called Tangerine.
That's Flaming Lips, I think.
I mean, it depends on which Tangerine song. Like, if it's Tangerine, Tangerine, that's Led Zeppelin. If it's She Don't Use Jelly, then that's the Flaming Lips.
That's Vaseline, you jackass.
That's.
I mean, I think we're talking about the same song. They
Yeah,
rhyme Tangerine
yeah.
with Vaseline in the
That's
song.
what they say before Vaseline. That's the line before the Vaseline side.
I fucking hate you guys so much right now.
Right.
Anyway,
I gotta fucking Google this. Moist.
the band Moist had a song called Resurrection I really liked. They had another song too. Canadians might know them. We're from Buffalo, so we know
Tangerine,
them.
song by Moist. You motherfuckers.
Play it.
I don't think
I
we
don't
have the
remember
rights
that
to it. Do we really want to hear it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
probably
don't want
not.
to get
Sing it.
copyrighted.
Sing it. I don't remember that one. It's probably a Led Zeppelin cover.
Well, just
But anyway,
look it
the singer, broke off and did a solo career after that. David something. And I assume because of the name Moist. But anyway, it's a fun game. Ruin a movie title by putting the word moist in there. Just throw the word moist. Don't substitute it for another word, but just between words. Anyone have a...
So
go around?
So
like pulp
back
moist
to the
fiction.
back to the moist future.
Yes, exactly. Back to the moist future.
Back to the moist future.
Ooh.
Marcus is busy watching fake. I got one. Moist Donnie Darko. You just put it in
Are
front
you
of it.
replacing words or are you adding it?
No, you're just adding it. My favorite idea that I came up with is my moist cousin Vinny. I don't know if there's a worse one than that.
The Two Youths.
The return of the moist body snatchers.
Are we really doing this?
Yeah. Beauty and the Moist
really doing
Beast. Yeah. Beauty and the Moist Beast. You don't want to do it? You should have weighed in before.
Right.
We started like 5 minutes ago.
My ex-girlfriend was one of those people that hated the word.
I thought you were going
Would
to
you
say
ever use it,
my super moist ex-girlfriend.
Shawn, I think you've made it better. I think you just made that movie title better, right?
Like, at
I
least
feel like
someone like 13-year-old boys gonna watch it now. But other than
Yeah.
that, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
like Romeo and Moist Juliet is pretty good. I'd watch that.
Robo moist cop.
Zach and Moist Miri make a porno.
I think it'd be funny if it was Moist Zach and Miri.
Moist Zach and Miri. Moist Aquaman. Moist Aquaman's a good one. I'd watch that.
That's a stupid one.
Moist Wonder Woman.
I'm in. I feel like if you put it in front of a woman's name, it just becomes porn.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much, man. When you put certain words in titles, it immediately becomes a porno.
Yeah. Like we could try a different word. Busty, right?
What?
It'd be like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a word, man, that would make it sound like a porno. Like,
aren't you like a really good wordsmith?
all right, what's sexy? You want to use sexy? Fine. I don't know. MILF? You want to use the word MILF in there? Throw the word MILF in.
Go.
MILF Wonder Woman is totally a porno name.
Speaking of Pornhub, they're giving away.
Go for
They're giving away their premium membership for free. I think for like a month or something.
I feel like we talked about this in the
shit?
podcast before.
No, this never came up.
Nope.
Nope.
I would have remembered that.
We did bring up Pornhub, but this was not like them giving away stuff for free.
Yeah, I mean that's been even before the COVID-19 was big in the U.S. They gave it to Italy for free, and it's kind of genius because it's freaking free anyway. But if people are like, "Oh, here's my email address," I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And probably after a certain point, it'll probably automatically charge. I don't know. I didn't sign up. I wouldn't know.
I don't think you have to put in your credit card. I think that was one thing that they took off is that you don't have to put your credit card in.
But man, what kind of emails? I bet you're on all kinds of ad email lists once you sign up for Pornhub.
That WWE used to do that.
They don't.
When like Hulk Hogan would go like get so hurt he'd be in the hospital, they would get so many letters from children writing Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And they had everyone's address.
Yeah, they actually Pornhub's actually lack for a better term, is like a legit business. Like they run
trains.
Like obviously they run on social media. What's that?
They run trains.
They run
What are they actually
We're familiar with.
No, but they do like they're running it like a legit business, like where they're not selling a lot of like information, and they where they like for the private users, they're not selling anything. They're obviously generating a shit ton of money, and I mean they're out of Montreal, I think, Canada, but
that makes sense because every video has to be both English and French, so that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, so I mean it's just so but it's that's why they're taking over the porn industry. It's just because they're running it like a well-oiled machine, a
well-lubed machine.
Well-oiled fuck machine. Wow.
Hey, do you think they sponsor podcasts? Hey, Pornhub,
They
if
have
you're
their
listening,
own podcasts, I think.
send us some money and we'll send people your way. Sign up for Pornhub today.
Send Marcus their way. Marcus, would you do porn?
I wasn't talking about working on it. I was just like, I'll tell people, we'll put a little banner.
For a quick $10,000, Marcus?
Would I do what?
Would you be on porn for a quick 10
Would you
grand?
get pegged for $10,000?
It's a good question.
Hey, you know who's getting in the sex game? Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but they're selling a coloring book for kids called MAGA MILFs. And I just got to ask, like, did the word MILF change its meaning? Like,
MAGA MILFs?
Yeah, they're selling a coloring book for children.
That's anime, isn't it, Chess? Oh no, that's manga.
I'm sorry.
Manga.
You guys don't know what MILFs are?
Manga.
Like Make America Great Again, moms I like to fuck.
Yeah, for children.
That doesn't make sense.
I know, right? It sounds absolutely crazy.
I can only imagine the amount of headache that Walmart would get for selling something like that.
I mean, I'll put the link on our social media.
It can't be any worse than the photos of Walmart shoppers that circulate around.
True.
Listen,
But-
I'm gonna put the link.
I say that out loud, and I know all of you, like, there's a picture that just immediately you go to. You're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
There is. But they're
They're Walmart. They're like, we don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
if
but
that,
they're
if that
not
documentary did it,
posting. But Walmart isn't posting those pictures. It's people that are shopping there.
yeah, and no one
Well,
gives
let me
a shit.
tell you, on their website, they've posted a picture of the coloring book,
What is it?
and it
Hold
says,
on. Let me see here.
"MAGA MILFs Stop Socialism: Coloring Book for Kids, Episode 1: A Green New Dope." Oh, look, I think they're trying to take back the word MILF. I don't know where they're going to take it back to. Mature, intelligent ladies fighting socialism, it says.
That's
Stop
ridiculous.
Socialism coloring book for kids. There's a Facebook group of MAGA MILFs.
It says
And it's a
Maggie.
comedian. It's a comedian Facebook page.
And is it a coloring book?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
It's
here.
probably a different MAGA MILFs, man. Look, let me tell you
Oh,
this.
okay. Here it is.
The term MILF gets a
Mature,
lot of search
intelligent
results on
ladies
Google.
Fight socialism. Mature, intelligent ladies fight socialism.
There you go.
I mean, it is a good way to get those perverts to buy the book. Like, this isn't what I bought. I didn't think this isn't what I thought it was at all.
Yeah.
Who you got playing against each other this time, Marcus?
The all-time Utah Jazz are on like a 5-game winning streak.
Hey.
But right now they're getting whooped by the all-time Lakers, of course.
What do you think about that? The mailman, Karl Malone.
He's actually not doing that good. Fucking Pistol Pete Maravich, when he was on the Jazz, he was incredible.
Yeah,
We're a good team.
Yeah, Pistol Pete was good.
Karl Malone made it go as a champion wrestler.
oh yeah, him and Rod. He was teamed up with DDP, and Jay Leno was in their corner, something stupid like that.
It was so
I
weird when they
remember.
would get a random person to like win at wrestling. It was always just so insulting because it's like these guys wrestle every night around the country. Then it's like, oh, let Jay Leno beat him. Like, come on. That was always so insulting.
Yo, so
What?
I finished Breaking Bad yesterday, and I watched.
What did you think?
It's like been like 10 years.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I know, right?
No,
I
but how
finally
did you
watched-
feel about it in the end?
Satisfied.
Yeah,
It was a good ending.
yeah.
When that show started, I tell this to everybody, when that show started, I hated Jesse Pinkman. Deborah was like, watch it. And I was like, I don't know. I started watching it and I was like, when are they going to kill this Pinkman guy? He keeps fucking up. They should kill him. And then over the course of the show, I didn't want him to die. I felt bad for him. And then in the end, man, I had tears in my eyes when he was driving that car out of there. I was like,
Yeah,
drive, Jesse, drive.
yeah. And then it was that's the whole time. Like my wife, she was just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe how they're treating him." But I was kind of like
it's
you, Nick.
intense.
I was like this kid keeps fucking things up. And I'm like, everything should be working. He leaves the keys in the damn RV, all that shit. And then, but yeah, over time, it's just like when you think about it, it's like the way that they kind of build like Walt, like they almost copied the Daenerys from Game of Thrones the same way as Walt, because they built. It's almost like you don't notice of how terrible the person is until you actually reflect on the
Right.
stuff that they did. So it's like you just kind of looking like, oh yeah, god damn, yeah, he's a fucking bastard. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, because you start off feeling bad for them, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
man, that's rough. They're just a regular guy trying to make it. He's got cancer. But then
Yeah.
over time, he gets worse and worse and eases you into being a terrible person instead of like, in a movie where like the villain's the villain from like,
What are you
pretty much-
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
what am I
What are you
talking
talking
about?
about?
It's like
The most
Are you-
the most terrible person in that whole show was the fucking wife. That's it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
so I will say, so the wife,
Which
The wife-
one?
I did not.
The one who
like
liked purple stuff and would shoplift?
No, Brian Cranston's wife.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
she wasn't. She was complicit and she committed crimes too. But like,
I didn't like
Walt,
her at all. I didn't
Walt
like
was
her
like
character at
getting
all.
kids addicted to drugs and like murdering people, man.
Yeah,
He only murdered the bad guys, Nick. He only
Yeah, I mean,
and
the
he
bad
used
guys.
he used chemistry to do it. It was really cool. Like that when he brought in that bag from that guy who fucked up Jesse Pinkman, and he threw it at him. It was explosive.
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, like no, like the Walter White's Mrs. White was I didn't like her character at all. Like she near the end, it was like she was bouncing back and forth. And then it almost seemed like they, like she was okay with everything, but then just like in a snap of a finger, she just switches over and she's like terrified. And I'm like, that's a huge, like there was like no build, almost didn't seem like there was like no building to it or anything. And at that point, it was like, well, she's been doing like money laundering not money laundering, cooking books for taxes and everything like that, like millions of dollars, sleeps with the dude, sends guys after him. Like it's almost like she was kind of becoming the same way. But
yeah,
then,
sure.
but then Walter's like, what was it? Gus is after him and everything, after the whole family, and he takes care of it. And she's like freaked out, like, who is this man? He I'm thinking like, I kind of get where Walter was coming from in that point, was like, he just protected everyone from that dude. And like, cause he was on a warpath to get like practically everyone and to just grab Jesse. So it was just, and I was just like, I don't see an issue with that. But then like near the end, it was like when Todd started coming into the picture and
Todd.
Yeah, all that shit, man.
Yes, have you seen the Netflix sequel to Breaking Bad?
Yeah, the El
Camino.
Camino.
You watched it before you watched Breaking Bad?
No, I never said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you watched it after Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was actually. Sharon said it was like kind of unnecessary, but I was like,
yeah, it's unnecessary.
Like,
but if you like it, it's still well done, and there's some parts that are really funny.
I mean, it was kind of like it wasn't as action packed as I thought it was going to be, but it was. I think it was justified though. I liked the subtleties to it, so it was a good film.
Yeah,
I want to see him in more stuff that's not basically Jesse Pinkman.
Well, he's the star of Westworld now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't started it. So
yeah, he's not in season 1, and like I saw a trailer for the new season. He's like the star of it, and I was just like, one of the first episodes I was watching, they went on this long talk where the guy's just basically like it's almost like the end of one of those Matrix movies where somebody's just like talking at the screen. And I was just like, oh my god, this scene's boring. And then I stopped watching. But apparently now Jesse Pinkman is like, or Aaron Paul, the actor, is one of the stars.
Yeah, Westworld's awesome. I love that show.
I've watched a couple indie films with Aaron Paul in them. I like him, but he's usually not in stuff that's really like very impressive.
Yeah, he was in Need for Speed.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it sucked.
Yeah. I mean, it was there.
To say that.
It was fine. I remember almost none of it.
Of course. Why would you?
He was on The Price is Right.
Need for Speed. We own the title. Let's make another type of movie like that, right? It's only about the cars. Wrong.
I mean, speaking of Fast and Furious movies, did you guys see that Universal released a movie direct to digital and basically pissed off all the major theater chains? And they said they're no longer going to play Universal movies?
What movie?
No, what they do?
Trolls World Tour. They released straight to digital.
Yeah, I watched that. That was a good movie.
Did you pay for that? Did
I
you
was
pay
like,
to see Trolls?
Yeah.
Like $20?
It was me and Sharon. If I would have went to go see it in the theater.
You're right. Look, you're right.
That was a deal. It was great. I'm sitting in my home. I don't have to worry about annoying kids. I would have paid to go see it in the theater anyways, and I saved myself money doing it.
I guess. I have an AMC pass for I pay $20 a month to go to the theater as many times as I want.
How's that been doing this so far?
I mean, they paused it for this whole thing, so I'm not paying anything, but I'm also not going to the movies. But before this whole thing happened, it was great because in less than 2 movies, it's paid for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
I got to skip the line at the theater and reserve seats on my phone.
But to go back to your point, like, I mean, if you don't realize that the world is going to change after this, that, I was sitting there and I was like, I wish more movies would kind of just premiere on streaming. Like, that'd be great. I mean,
so here's the thing. If that happens too much, though, theaters will close and then we can't go to the theater anymore.
Right.
Because they make their money in the first couple weeks. And if less people go, they're not making as much money as, when you see those box office numbers, that's not their money. Most of that goes to the studio. They make their money on the popcorn and the drinks. They get a small percentage of the movie ticket sales. So they also have to pay rent for these huge spaces and air condition and heat these huge spaces and pay staff. And so if the attendance of movies drops major, people won't go anymore.
I highly doubt they're going to make that an option still when people are still allowed to go back to the theaters.
Well, that's the problem, right? The other companies like Disney said, we'll do digital right now or we'll push back dates. Universal said, no, we're just going to try this where we just go straight to streaming TV the same day as theaters, even when we go back. And that's why AMC and Regal were like, no, fuck you. We're not playing your movies anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's kind of like the gym, kind of like how gyms are going to end up too. The way that, like, at least the way that I think about it is that with the state of how everything is now and how it'll probably end up being in the future, it's kind of like I always kind of picture that they'll still be around. It's just they're not going to be as big as they used to be. Like, instead of having like, say 16 theaters, they'll probably slim it down to like maybe 10. Not have like, instead of like having like, say, I don't know, 200 seats, they'll have say 150, maybe 100. It will be more like they'll still be around, but they'll be smaller. And the same things like with the gyms, they won't have like, I don't know, like 10,000 square feet. They'll have, say, they'll be a lot smaller, in adjusting to people being working from or working out more, streaming more, because I mean, things are going to change after all this. I mean, people aren't going to be out as much, and it's going to be. I mean, you look at it from your perspective, Nick. Are you going to go to the theater? Like, if there's going to be like a packed theater, are you going to go to it?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
It's not. It's not going to be a packed theater.
Right. Like, are they going to change it? So are they going to change it so it's less packed? But
that's what I'm saying, though. That's what they're going to end up doing is that they're going to start adjusting. Like, I know that the one AMC theater that I went to in on Sheridan, it was or near Sheridan, it was like the chairs that they had were huge. There was a lot less seats.
Right. So they already did that to all these theaters, right?
Yeah.
So
but
like
not the Regal ones in not the Regal ones at least in the mall. There's still like a lot more seats.
Right.
But
when I go to the movies to stay competitive, almost every theater has switched to these big recliner seats. They've taken half the seats out already.
Yeah.
So now to make it smaller, right? So now they're already operating with much less profit than they were operating on. And then, so now you're talking about, they'll have less people in a theater and then they'll have less screens. You're talking about them cutting their profits in half again, right?
Yeah.
And then,
but they might jack up the price more though. I mean, that is a possibility.
Right. But then you look at it, they're going to jack up the price for the theater. Like you said, then I'll pay less and watch it at home. So they need the studios to stick with them and say, look, we'll at least put it in your theater for a little while first. because if not, they're done.
Yeah.
But there are some movies that are just theater movies.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I
I can't wait for the new Top Gun movie to come out, and I can't wait to see it in the theater.
Right.
It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah, no.
If I can find a place playing the first one and then the second one right after, I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Shawn.
I'm gonna jump off, and let you guys continue, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right, man.
Say hi to Deborah for us.
It's just a long goodbye. There it is.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with you, Shawn. I mean, there's some theaters, or some movies are just theater movies, and it's like you go there to enjoy the whole experience. And you know, the state of the world right now, in the future, once everything starts to open up more, that's gonna be heavily impacted.
Yeah,
but,
but yeah, with the streaming and stuff, especially rentals. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is probably a thing that I'm just now realizing, but like I rented the Birds of Prey movie and watched it before we started this podcast.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, we watched. Shawn and I watched it. It was it was pretty cool. But like
having it right there, the access, you know, and
It's
like if I really
easy,
like it, then I could just spend a little bit more and buy the movie.
convenience,
it's right
man.
there.
Convenience is key, and the like that's the whole thing with the Trolls World Tour thing. Like I actually set like a date in their calendar for Shawn and I, and we got like I had like frozen pizza and stuff, and then like we made kind of a thing out of it. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a fun movie to watch, and it was $20. Granted, if we had kids, it would be well worth it. But you know,
Now, did you buy it or just did like a code and you're able to watch it for like X amount of time?
It's like you're basically renting it for $20.
Damn.
But it's a premiere movie, so it's
I figured.
You know, it's kind of, and I think that's going to be a wave, a new thing in the future. And because I actually went back like a few weeks later to check how much money they made, and it wasn't a lot compared to like being in the movie theaters, because of like if you're bringing your kids, you're paying for each kid. But if you're watching it at home, all you got to pay is $20, and you can have as many people in the house as you want. So I mean, it's like, you know,
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Be pretty. What about you, Marcus? What was the last good movie you saw?
That's a good question. I was on vacation like a couple of weeks ago from work, and you know, I obviously didn't do much. All I did was like watch. You know, all I did was like sit around the house.
We heard about the free subscription to Pornhub.
Yeah. Enough said.
Man, I watched Platoon.
Oh,
good movie.
Willem Dafoe,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
What'd you think of it, Marcus?
I thought it was pretty good. Now it's weird because when I was younger, I really didn't care too much about like military movies because I had like zero interest in the military. So, but I mean, you know, as I've gotten older, you know, I'll watch them, and you know, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Have you watched Saving Private Ryan?
No.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, I think the best one I've seen so far is Black Hawk Down. That was really fucking good.
That is a good one. But that was like the all-time like movie to watch. Like when I was in Iraq, we would get all these bootlegs, and we watched Black Hawk Down was like the movie to watch, depicting like how which it really wasn't, but depicting how like the desert and like fighting is, and black like just kind of like the whole war in the Middle East type of thing.
Right.
But the standard for war movies is Saving Private Ryan. at least how it's shot.
It's not.
Would you agree with that, Shawn?
It's not Full Metal Jacket.
No. Actually, Full Metal Jacket is, I would say, the standard for acting in military movies. It is, like, to me, that is basic training. That is how a lot of, like, wartime stuff is, as far as, like, at least, Vietnam at the time. But I mean, to me, that was superbly acted. Like, you couldn't do better than that.
I mean, you could, because they didn't win any awards.
To me, that's a crime, man. They come on, that the Oscars are biased shit.
What? No.
Never. Mr. Hollywood.
I mean, as far as Saving Private Ryan, how it's shot, I mean, maybe.
Standard? You would say standard probably for wartime movies, at least?
It definitely seemed to get grittier than a lot of other movies. The way that it was shot and stuff, and all right, I'll go with that. I'll agree.
Yeah. So watch it, Marcus. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Marcus, fucking watch it.
All right. What, Shawn? I haven't. So what have you been doing over the last week?
Why are you so close to the fucking street?
Get your fucking away from the goddamn tree, dude.
I feel like you're coming through the fucking street.
I'm leaning in. Like,
yeah. Get your fucking face out of here.
Why?
What have I been up to the past couple weeks?
Yeah, what you been up to?
Nothing. I haven't done shit.
Did you get paid? You get your check?
Yeah. I finally got my money, so I'm all caught up. Luckily, I didn't fall behind on bills or anything, so got that going.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you so, like, is California one of the states that is are they starting to open, or they said
no, we haven't done nothing, we haven't seen nothing. Restaurant, like where I work in the bar industry, maybe June 1st.
Yeah, that's what they're saying for, like, a lot of those.
Have my glasses been crooked this whole fucking time?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
At least I can't tell. I mean, they look straight to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing for, like, all those businesses, bars, like barbershops, salons. They're scheduling for June 1st and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. When this shit started, man, I was saying, like, midsummer. So I mean, Erie County isn't even going to be in phase 1 probably till June at least. Probably not even to, like, my work was supposed to possibly start looking at getting people into the office, possibly like some sort of plan by mid-May, and they pushed that out another month. And so I wouldn't be surprised they pushed that out another month into July. So New York is obviously nowhere near getting into opening up, which once the weather starts getting nicer, people are going to start going crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be quite a sight to see here in Western New York, in my opinion.
Once it stops snowing.
I'm anxious to see how these people are going to start acting once the weather starts getting real nice.
Yeah, it's like it's been 95 here the past couple of days. Oh, it's been grueling.
Jesus,
it's awful.
Jesus. Like, I mean, shit. I mean, like, that I mean, that's the thing though, right? Like, California and Florida, those are, like, they're constantly nice weather states, and at least the southern parts. And people don't want to be indoors unless it's like, consistently 100 degrees outside. Then obviously it's air conditioning is good, but people want to go to the beach. They want to go out and like go to bars and stuff like that. And they, it's easy to stay inside when the weather's not nice, but when the weather's nice, fuck, man, people just they want it. They throw all caution out to the wind and just say, fuck it, give me the disease. I want to go out and run around in the sand.
I feel like last Saturday here in Buffalo, it seemed like perfect, like bar patio weather. Or I mean,
oh yeah,
I mean not like anywhere where there's a patio, but I don't know. I like at the end of my shift last Saturday, I'm thinking to myself, man, today feels like a primo fucking patio day, dude.
It was nice, right? It was like the nicest day we had up to that point. And after all this shit happens, I was looking at the weather, and like in the next week, it's supposed to be like 60, 63, 62, 67, and it's supposed to like really be nice.
Yeah.
And I guarantee at that point, people are going to be like, how much longer? Open the bars. Open the bars. And like, it's just going to be, it's going to be crazy. The beaches are going to be closed. Everything's going to still be closed. You ain't going to be shit to do because all the events are canceled anyways. So,
yeah.
I mean,
What are you talking about? There's never really anything to do other than like not be in your house. So I
sure.
could like I'd still rather be at a bar watching TV, hanging out with people, complete strangers, and drinking a beer than just drinking it here at my house. I mean, I'll do it, but I'm not going to like it as much.
See, you're smart, and you know what is at risk. But
I'm perfectly fine with people having a good discussion about because at some point things have to open up.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
I'm lazy, Chaz. If I could work from home, man, I'd be working from home. This is the life. I mean, I'm loving this. It's 95 out. I'm like, I finally have a reason not to leave my house. Just like there's that cutoff point where you're like, it's fucking 95 degrees outside. Like I gotta go I gotta do something. If I'm not working, it's like I gotta be out. Can't waste this nice, beautiful day. Now I can, which is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, no, but don't get me wrong, man. I want things open, and I want to do things. I want to go out and visit my friends and family, but I don't want to get sick, and I don't want I want to be as cautious as possible, and sacrificing some time and some, I guess you could say, some freedoms to go to just be safe. That's fine for me. I mean, I can go out and still drive, and there's still things you can do. It's just I got to be not around a whole shitload of people. So
did you get a Jeep?
Yes, I did.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
What?
I spent a whole shitload of money.
I bet you did, fucking pimp juice.
Hell yeah.
Was it
Is that what that is?
Is it red?
No, it's orange.
You got a goddamn orange Jeep?
It's called Pumpkin Metal.
Oh my god. Is it
It sounds like a German rock band or something.
Right.
What metal is that? Pumpkin metal.
Is it the same model Chris Bird has?
No, it's a newer model. It's he has a JK, I have a JL. We both have Saharas, but I have a newer model.
You motherfucker.
It's awesome, man. I love it.
What made you decide to become a Jeep guy?
He's always had ranch hair.
I know. I've had Jeeps
but
forever.
Like a fucking Jeep, like an actual Jeep.
No, that is a Jeep.
Yeah,
you can't get more Grand Cherokee. You don't get more Jeep than that.
His last vehicle was more of like an SUV, but this is more of like a fucking Jeep.
Yeah. Okay. So,
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay. So
When you hear the word Jeep, this is what you think of.
yeah,
Insert
pretty much.
vehicle, no doors.
Yeah. So I've actually wanted a Wrangler for the last 3-4 years, only because you know, it's just like it's you can mod the shit out of it and you can take shit off of it.
Right.
And it's a nice cruising vehicle. Well, I wish I didn't say cruising vehicle, but it's a nice. The weather's nice. I see people taking all the stuff off and like making it like one of our friends actually has like this Jeep with like 40-inch tires that has the door kind of like it's all modded all crazy, and it's great. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, I should get one of these. I'm like, I don't drive like, I like going camping and stuff like that, and I could use it to go camping.
You do?
And, yeah, I love camping.
All right.
I was a Boy Scout for like 10 years.
I'll
Right. Remember when we played them in basketball? Was it London?
Hell yeah.
Remember that, Marcus?
Oh yeah. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I haven't done it in a very long time, but I do love camping. And but yeah, it's a great vehicle for obviously off-roading. And I bought a shit ton of stuff for it already. Like I bought new tires, I bought like these new doors, I bought like this hoist to like take off the top by myself. So it's like all the storage stuff, it's great. If you ever call a motherfucker, I would take you for a ride.
Are you gonna are you gonna be one of those people like Chris Bird that do all the mannerisms and the sayings and join the fucking clubs and shit? I guess owning a Jeep is like being part of some like secret society or something.
Yes, Marcus is really just trying to ask, are you gonna become a douchebag?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily douchebag.
The mannerisms, the code words, the secret handshake.
Yeah, I don't know. I see Chris Bird talking about that shit all the time.
Yeah, man. No,
you wouldn't know, Marcus. You wouldn't know. You don't have a Jeep. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Him and I belong to the same Facebook group.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Team Jeep.
Yeah, man. Like if someone drives by that has a Jeep and like a Jeep Wrangler, you gotta give the wave, which is like it's basically this.
Oh, okay. 3 fingers.
Are throwing out gang signs here?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Because I was like at first.
It's the fucking Vampiro boys.
So at first, like I was reading about this, like you had to like there's like a Jeep wave thing, and I'm like. At first, I didn't like Shawn because Shawn used to sell Jeeps, so she was telling me all about this stuff, and I was like, all right. So I'm like, when Jeeps drive by, I'm like waving like this and shit, like out the window, and I'm like, this shit's difficult. Like I have my hands on the wheel. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. And then when you could see them, like you could see them like driving by. All they do is like they have their hand on the wheel. And they just go like this. They just put 2 fingers up like that, and then that's it. And you see them, and I'm like, oh, that's all you got to do.
So you're hailing people down when it's really just
right. I'm like flagging people down and like, but it was just all you got to do is just like if you have your hand on the wheel, you just got to go like this. So see it. That's it. That's all.
You drive the mail truck, right, Marcus? It's like on the other side of the other.
Yeah, Marcus, don't mail people have a wave? Don't they have a wave?
What?
Don't mail people have a wave?
No, we just fucking wave. We're just
you should start something.
Whatever.
You should start something.
No, nobody cares. Everybody
should do something like. They do this every time a mail carrier drives by.
What is that supposed to signify? Scissors?
A letter opener?
Oh.
What? I'll run it past the guys tomorrow. Okay.
Please do, and let me know what happens.
Yeah. Bring up what movie title they would like to wreck by using the word moist.
What the hell?
What game you playing?
Who?
You motherfucker.
What, man? I got the basketball game on. When are we gonna get in this fucking Destiny, man? We got a Titan. Chaz is a hunter. You gotta be our fucking warlock, dude.
No, I'm a warlock.
Well, Chad. Well, Shawn, you can be a hunter then, which actually isn't that bad to play.
What was that? 2K20?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I have 2K20 for the PlayStation. I don't have it for Xbox.
So you got a PlayStation and an Xbox now?
Yeah.
So you sold those, and then you bought them back.
That's what you do. You sell them, and then you got to buy them back when you got money.
Well, what do you know? I don't do that.
I'm pretty sure you've sold some of my games.
No, did I?
I wasn't playing them anyways.
Why did that sound familiar?
Because you did it. And it was for something stupid. I had that when Blockbuster had that Game Pass. And
Yeah.
George was using it when you guys lived together because I wasn't playing video games at the time, but I still had the pass. I was like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. I'm like, yeah, please use it. And you went and turned in like all of your games. You bought this one game, and it didn't fit right on your TV because you still had like the tube TV, and it was too much. And I told you, I'm like, dude, don't buy the game, just rent it. See how you like it. And if you like it, then buy it. You refused to listen to me. You went back. You had to return that game. So you turned in like 7 games. You spent $30 to buy this game, and then you went back and gave him the game back and got like 4 of your games back. So basically, you spent like $30
Marcus,
just to find out that didn't work.
Marcus, if GameStop had about probably 20,000 of you, they wouldn't be going out of business.
Are they? Is that true?
Yeah, they're doing terrible.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. Every time I went in there, I'm like, hey, what do you want for this game? Yeah, it's like, 5 cents.
Yeah.
Like, I may as well just keep it.
Man.
I may as well just keep it then, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I started buying digital shit. Like I'm like, if I may as well just keep it on the thing that I already have. I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything for it. I was like, what's that? Why even bother with it? And I might, bust it out later at some point. Who knows? Like my PS3, I still have my PS3. I still have games on there that I haven't finished.
I still have Nintendo.
And it's still awesome.
Classic.
Yeah. It still works, so that's got that going for me.
Do you buy games for it?
I have, yeah. I've since I bought the Batman game. From the
Michael
Keaton movie. That game's fucking hard. The Ninja Turtles.
Do you have this? Is it the Super Nintendo, or are you talking about the regular Nintendo?
Nintendo, Chaz. Nintendo.
Yeah, regular Nintendo.
Regular.
I'm trying to remember the Batman game for that one.
Is the second you play it, you'll remember it. Oh, also remote control.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
fucking guy's like, he just sits there talking shit to you the whole time.
Oh man, like
the game show, man. I used to love that game.
Yeah, man, got that. So I'm very excited. I got the Ninja Turtles and Batman. I think the same time I bought the Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon movie.
You watch it?
Oh yeah, I've watched it like 7 times.
Isn't it
It's
awesome?
Yeah,
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I ain't got nothing else, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty spent. Marcus, you got any?
When are we doing this Destiny, man? Let's go.